So I just made this book cover design using this free tool that I've made at DIYbookcovers.com. Because even though I can do a lot of fun and fancy things with all these options, I'm just showing you how to make simple book covers with one picture and a little bit of text. And a lot of the times these book covers are actually more successful, and a lot of best-selling books of 2014 had this kind of cover where it's just one abstract or landscape image with some really simple text. So later we'll go in and we'll do some fancy stuff and we'll blend layers together, but let's just do a few more really simple ones. If you find the right image, you're not really going to need anything else. The right image and a little bit of text, and you'll have a strong book cover without a lot of Photoshop or anything. So I could use something like this. I'm going to see what other images I have too. I might want to add something kind of fun like that, although I'd probably save that for a sci-fi cover. I want to see how it would look if I blend these. You can do some fun stuff with my tool that you wouldn't be able to do in a lot of other online tools. And I'm making a lot of videos to teach you kind of how to use all these options. Let's look for any more pictures though. I'm just going to make maybe two more really simple, more like literary fiction type covers, because literary fiction usually uses really simple stuff. It's a nice picture. This kind of thing, I'd either have to blow it up really big like this, or I could make it a lot smaller and then I'd have to add color on top, which I think might be what I'll do with this one. I could also add something else in this space up here. And because this is a pretty uniform color, I should be able to match it pretty easily. I don't have an eyedrop tool, which I should have. But once I get pretty close, I can use these colors to change things a bit. So now I'm getting pretty close to that color. And then if I just go to effects and feather edges, actually I'm just going to leave it like this for now. It's a pretty close match. I can add a little bit of clouds on top of that and cover it up. Actually, it might be kind of fun to add some texture. Maybe one of these geometric patterns. That's kind of fun, but a little too much. I'm gonna see if I can just add a little bit of clouds to cover up that line. It's the only thing with this program, I don't have all of the tools I would normally have in Photoshop to blend layers together and get rid of those hard lines. But there are ways around it. So here's just a bit of clouds I can cover up that line pretty well. Also makes it a little more interesting. But I'm going to darken it so it's not quite as bold. Here I'm going to change my layer order a little bit. I think if I had one more layer, I'll probably get rid of that line. I could add some really dark clouds like this, but I kind of like the colors that's going on already. This might be interesting. Looks really good, but a little bit too dark, so I gotta find a way to make that lighter. I can do that with these blending options. That's too much. Although if I go to feather edges, might be able to pull it off. I was trying to make a really simple cover with only one picture, but I got distracted, which is common. And actually, this is looking pretty nice, so I'm just going to keep going with it and figure out how to make it look natural, which is kind of hard because there's this guy standing on the beach. And normally I'd be able to just delete this stuff in Photoshop, but using this tool has some limitations. On the other hand, for a free online tool that you can use to make your own book covers, it's pretty powerful. It lets me do some pretty fun stuff. And I like how that text is hiding behind the cloud too. All I really need to do is move this one up. Then maybe make it larger so it looks like he's really standing there. What happened was this rectangle, which I added to hide that line, I moved the bridge up and now it doesn't quite fit the same way. So I've got to put it back on top so I can adjust it. And I'll probably have to move the bridge back down. Try just duplicating this layer and then blending it a little differently. That works. Gives a more dramatic sunset feeling. I've got this line up here though. Well, I think this is going to take some more time. It might take me a while to figure out how to do this one. So I'm going to stop this video here and then we'll come back and do a simple cover like I had planned originally.